Hey guys, what's up? Valley Flying here. I am back with another video. Today, it's a video from request. On one of my previous videos about the new player tips and farming guide, someone asked, would love to see some videos on the basic fighting mechanics for players new to turn-based games. So, whether you're new or not, hopefully this video does add some value for you. And let's just get into it. So, the big thing as far as mechanics, as far as turn-based games, is that this game moves slow, as all turn-based games do, so you have time to strategize and plan your attacks. What I mean by that is that you need a lot of strategy, you need to do things in the right order, kill things in the right order, and that'll help your progress. Whereas action-based games, such as a first-person shooter, or the DC Unleashed, or some other games, Marvel Future Fight, what these do is they're more action, so you need time, you need a lot of skill to do things at the right timing so that you don't get hit dodging, shooting things, killing things, or whatnot. Whereas this game, it moves slow, so you have time to plan. And it's all about that planning. That's where the fun in these turn-based games come from. But the big thing you want to do before battle is get a good team. Now, when composing a good team, there's a few things you need to consider. Who's going to deal your damage? Because it's kind of rough just sitting there. You have a bunch of tanks and healers and just support characters, and it takes you a long time to kill people. So you need to have a damage dealer. Now in this game, your damage dealers, the categories for them are blasters. So these blasters are guys that do ranged attacks. Some of them have an AoE attack, some of them don't, like Winter Soldier doesn't, but Thor, Rocket, they all do. The Hand Archer does. These guys do some good damage. You also have, in this game, the Brawlers. So if you go down to this class, these guys mainly do single target damage, but they do big damage. Gamora has a strong third skill. Wolverine has a strong third skill. Elektra has a strong third skill. And if these guys are running low, if the opponents are running low, these guys will take that target out. The other thing, you need to protect these damage dealers. And in this game, these are the protectors. Tanks are the common term that people use for these, but these are the guys that are going to be there to soak up damage so that your main guys don't get killed. There's one exception in this. Crossbones is a damage dealer. You don't want him being your tank. He has that big third skill that could take out a whole team. He also has a taunt, which I wouldn't use. Now, what taunts are is something that's going to cause the whole other team to attack that one character. So if they're using a single target attack, they can't attack anybody else, which means all of your damage dealers and support characters are free to do their thing. Captain America is a really good tank. He has a taunt. He has some other background effects that he could do. Drax has a taunt. He has some drain, so he's gaining some HP back. Hulk, Luke Cage, they're both decent tanks, soak up a lot of damage. They don't hit that hard. None of these tanks actually hit hard except for Crossbones. But these are the guys that you want. You want at least one on your team. I've seen some teams with 3 tanks on their team, and if they manipulate their taunts correctly, they're very hard to work around, because especially if you go in there without a debuff remover. And that's what I'm going to talk about with these next few characters. In this game, the 2 support characters are actually called support, and then you have your controller. So let's look at support real quick. A lot of these guys are healers. One big exception to that is Yondu. Yondu doesn't have a direct heal, but he can summon Ravagers, and one of the characters he can summon is that Ravager Stitcher out there, and that Ravager Stitcher can heal your team. So he doesn't directly heal. Night Nurse is really strong. And then the other support kind of characters in this game are also called controllers. Now these are the guys that's going to control the field of action. So if you look at Quake and Black Widow, 2 important skills. Black Widow speeds up your whole team. Quake, she can apply slow to the other team. So as far as turn meter goes, the order that you take the turns is determined by speed. And if you got characters going really fast and then you got the other team going really slow, you're going to be able to take a lot more turns and do a lot more damage, or just do your work that you need to do to kill that other team a lot more efficiently. You also have taunts. I talked about them with tanks. It's not fun if you're trying to attack a character and you can't get through to that character because they have 1 tank or 2 tanks. Hawkeye is really good for that. He could remove 3 positive effects, pretty much removing a taunt. Black Widow also has that. Her first skill can remove taunts. Yondu's not a controller, but he is another support character. He can remove taunt. Shockwave on her skill can clear a positive effect, so possibly remove taunts. Jessica Jones does that. There's a bunch of characters that do that in their skills. You want to be able to remove that. It's tough going in there with a team that doesn't have some way to remove the buffs and remove that taunt, because you're going to have to kill that character, or you're going to have to wait till that taunt expires, or do an AoE attack which just affects everybody. Those are the things you want to think about going into your battle. When you actually get in there, there's some other things that you want to worry about. So I used up my arena selections for today. You only get 5. You can't recharge them with crystals as far as I know. So I'm going to go into the Blitz, and I'm just going to use this team right here. I'm going to use my arena team, and let's just go battle. Probably not best practices to get the maximum points in Blitz, but just for the purpose of this video, let's go through a battle. I'll talk about what to look for and what I'm seeing. I didn't even look at the other team, so we'll check him out on the battlefield. Alright, so looking at this team right here, you got Hulk, that's their taunter, Gamora, Winter Soldier, Elektra, big single target damage dealing, and then Daredevil does some single damage as well. There's not a huge AoE that I have to worry about. Hulk has an AoE, but it's not huge. I think the biggest threat right now is Gamora. Now, if you look at the characters, the green is their life. That's how much health they have. So when that goes down, they're dead. That blue thing underneath them is their turn meter. So based on their speed, that's how fast that thing's going to fill up. So when you have that fill up, that's when you could take a turn. Right now, Black Widow has hers filled up. She's going first, and she's going to apply speed to the whole team. Next, usually, is Captain America, but I got Hawkeye going now. I'm not going to use my arrow because this removes a taunt, and nobody's taunted yet. That's for Hulk when he does his taunt, so I could keep taking out their targets. I'm going to go after Gamora here. Then I'm going to buff up the whole team, and he got a taunt there. He's already half dead, and that taunt might not be a good thing. Cap might not last in this battle, but I wanted that energy, which is why I did that skill anyway. Now, this is what I like to use Quake at. I like to use this first skill right here. And actually, the way they're lined up, if I do this to Gamora, I'm going to hit Winter Soldier, and I may or may not hit Elektra. I'm not sure if it goes through stealth, but when I do this skill, it should apply slow to all of them. So all their main 3 targets are going to be slow. And yes, they're all slow. Alright, Captain America's dead. And that's fine because he's my tank. My main guys are still alive. I'm going to hopefully finish off Gamora so she can't kill team. There we go. Hulk got his taunt. That's that symbol above his head right there. I'm going to take that off with Hawkeye's arrow. And then I'm going to do a AoE attack. Now, it's not going to hit Elektra because she is in stealth, but it should kill off Gamora. No taunt, which means that I could go after Winter Soldier right now. He's going to be stunned from Black Widow's attack. And I'm going to use a bigger damage to try to kill him. Get that speed up again from Black Widow. And then I'm going to do an AoE attack. It has a chance to blind everybody. And there was that big attack from Elektra. Took out my guys there. And here we go. A big AoE from Quake. Hopefully it takes out Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier's down. I think Elektra is the bigger threat, but I'm going to go after Daredevil. Actually, on the next... Actually, this turn. I'm going to take him out. I'm not going to use a heal. None of these guys are really bad. Quake is a little low, but because there's only a couple people left, I think she'll be fine. And now we just got Hulk. At this point, when you just have a tank left, doesn't do a lot of damage, you are in the clear. All of their big threats have been eliminated. And then at this point, it's just basically attacking them. I can set it on auto here, and there's no risk of losing anything. And he should be dead within a couple turns. But that is it. So, that's what's going through my head. I want to take out the threats when I'm doing battle. And identifying these threats is key. So, what I'm going to do now for the last part of the video is just go through a few arena teams and talk about what I think the threats are. So, this is a strong team. This is an Avengers team. Got some good synergy here. You got synergy with Shield, with Quake. And when I'm looking at this, I think the biggest threat damage-wise is Iron Man. He's got a strong AoE attack. He has a strong single target attack. I want to take him out first. The other three characters on the front, Black Widow, Quake, Hawkeye, they have some... they can disrupt my team. But Iron Man's the one that could kill it. Quake can as well. So I think she's going to be next on my target list. And then it's probably going to be Hawkeye that I'm going after. Although Black Widow is a bigger threat. But Black Widow goes into stealth a lot. So judging by the way this battle goes, I want to go Iron Man, Quake, and then either Hawkeye or Black Widow. And then last I'm saving for Captain America because he is the tank of this team. So he's probably not going to do too much damage. Let's scroll down a little bit and just choose another random character. This one is another very similar team, except instead of Iron Man, you have Thor. I think my kill order is going to be on this one. I would go after Quake first, then Thor, then either Black Widow or Hawkeye, and then the last would be Captain America. Let's do one more. Let me scroll down a little further. And let's just pick this guy. All right, so another very similar team. You have Drax as the tank instead of Captain America. So I want to leave him for last. Yondu's a threat. Quake's a threat. Thor's a threat. And then Black Widow, it's not a threat as far as damage, but as far as really screwing up my team and buffing hers, she is a threat. I think in this one, I think either Yondu or Quake. I'm not sure at this point. I might go after Yondu at first. And then Quake. Then Thor. And then Black Widow. I think that would be my kill order if I fought this team. So those are my tips for new players. Just learning the mechanics, learning the other teams. So when you look at the threats of the other team, you want to know what characters can do what. And that comes over time, just playing against these characters, playing with these characters, and knowing which are the threats that you need to take out first and which to save for last. Usually the last should be the protectors of the tanks if you can get around them. For that, you would need to bring in the right team so that you could go around the tank or remove the tank's buff. But that is it. If you have anything to add to help out any other new players, leave it in the comments below. Let me know if you have any other questions, any other topics for videos. I'll check it out. Make sure to subscribe to my channel. I'll be back with more videos. And I will see you next time. Valley Flying out.